over with check. Now at this point he could bring his knight back or he could bring his bishop back, but I guess, and again this is probably his first major mistake, rather than doing that he decided to move his king. Then I took the hanging c-pawn and we're even in terms of material. Okay, so now he advances on the queen side. I guess he's figuring he has a lot of open space on the queen side. He has a knight over there. He has a bishop over there. He'll protect that bishop. That bishop can be a bone in my throat over there. There's no easy way for me to kick it out. You know, I can't move my knight back here because my bishop is there. My knight here can't move because the knight is protecting that square. So his bishop can be very powerful over there. That's what he's thinking. Now I saw really before I did this move, I saw a long combination. And I'll show it to you. I'll show you the way it played out initially. I played my knight to d4. Now, okay, so before that, my intent is that if he trades the knight off, then I take it with the rook, and and I think I have a very well centralized, very well placed rook over there. Maybe I could move the queen to e8. Maybe I could, get my light squared bishop involved. I don't see him really having a major attack over here. Now he moved his bishop back to d4. And again, the reason for that is also another thing. My immediate threat was, of course, if he takes the knight, obviously I wouldn't. I'm sorry, I misspoke before. I wouldn't take back right away. First, I would take his a1 rook with my bishop, and then when he takes back, that would be the in-between move. Then I would take back with my rook, and I'd be up the exchange. So I mean, he realized that at that point, it wouldn't work. So he plays bishop to d5. Sorry, to d4. Now, the thing about that move is that initially it appears that I'm gaining a piece, because if I take the knight and he takes back and I retake the bishop, then I gain a piece. Now, if you notice, what he was thinking, I'm sure, is that he can move his rook to c1, and then my two pieces are lined up and I can't defend them both. Notice if my bishop's here and my knight's here, and this knight's off the board, and he moves his rook over here, there's really no way for me to defend my bishop over there. Well, one second, my queen, I guess, could move out here. Maybe he can then pile up, and in other words, I'd have two minor pieces lined up over here, and with his queen and his rook, he's probably going to get one of them eventually. I haven't figured out all the variations. In any case, but I saw actually a different combination, and you'll see what I saw in a minute. I calculated this about 4 or 5 moves out over here, and that's really the reason why I'm showing this game in the first place. I took the knight on c3. He took with the bishop. I took with the bishop back. Then he moves his rook over here he moves his rook to c1 to threaten my bishop. Now, at this point, my first well, I had seen this already a couple of moves earlier, but an initial response might be, let's say, queen to. Well, I can't really move my queen to here. I can't really move my queen to c6 because then this bishop hangs. And so it pretty much looks like I've lost the piece. But as a matter of fact, I have not lost the piece. And that's because it's indirectly threatened by this combination. I moved my knight back because I knew that bishop was indirectly threatened. It was indirectly protected, I'm sorry. My next move is, of course, to get the bishop out of there if he doesn't take it. And if he does take it, I saw a combination that was going to destroy him. And it's all based on the fact that his queen is now being only protected by his rook. That's number one. Number two, his king is on a light square, and my bishop's also on a light square. And number three, my rook is protecting the entire e-file. Now he didn't see that combination, so he retook the bishop. And so my next move was the move, of course, that won the game. And I'll give you a second to look for it. It's a very simple discovered attack on his queen now that his queen is not defended anymore, and that, of course, is the dynamite bishop b5 check. Now the bishop is hanging. His queen, but he can't do anything about it. He can take the bishop, but his queen is going to hang. The fact that he exposed it by using that rook was the thing that killed him. Of course, if my rook were not on the e file, he could just move the king to e1, and that would defend the queen. But he can't do that because of my rook. And so therefore, really, the game is over. He could have resigned. He didn't resign at that point. Really, I guess what he really, the way to keep himself in the game at least, at this point, material's even. The way to keep himself in the game is to play rook d3, and then if I take it with my queen, then he trades off the queens. If I take it with my bishop, then I guess he doesn't trade off the queens. But either way, I'm up a full rook. I'm up a full rook. I'm going to win the game, but he's still in the game. He, I guess, didn't see the next move anyway. Remember, he only had 5 minutes for the whole game, so he's probably running pretty low on time anyway. And he plays a take b5, and then I have simple mate in two, queen take queen. His only move over here is to put the knight in front, and then queen take d1 checkmate, e1 checkmate. Okay, and that is this game. If you have any comments, please feel free to post them, and I'll see you in another game.